New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
Bruh. What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from Knick of Time Show. Here, give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. Obviously, I am tired off my game. I meant to hit the gunshots, but it is so fine. I do feel like this is low-key a bro moment, though, because the Knicks, Malcolm Brogdon, straight up just retired out of nowhere. Shocked me, probably shocked other people in Knick Nation, but we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to go through it and give you our thoughts. And before I do that, I'm going to just introduce you to the peoples. First and foremost, I'm going to introduce you to the Light and Assassin, ESPN contributor, posting contributor, Bleacher Report contributor, the Escobedo. What's going on, Lee?
What's good, family? Great to be here with the KOT crew. Very, very special to have B back join us on this discussion. A perfect timing, too, because she had lots of positive opinions on Brogdon. Now she has to relearn how to love Tyler Kolek, as she tweeted earlier, which I found hilarious. So lots to talk about this new point guard backup spot.
I mean, since you already introduced, I'm gonna introduce you to our resident AAU coach over here, chilling in the back. Shout out to our girl B. What's going on, B?
Hi guys, good day for me to come back. So again, thank you guys for having me. I'm happy to be back, and the Knicks look like we got a lot to talk about. So let's get into it.
Yeah. Of course. I already know it is my man, my guy, the legendary Ryan G in the building. What's good, Ryan G?
What's good? Here to talk Knicks basketball. Let's go.
And you already know the best mod in the game is the NBA counting himself. When you go to his show, you bring your pitchforks and your calculators. My guy Fritz. What's going on, Fritz?
Hey, what's up?
Don't forget the trade machines. You got to bring out the trade machines for Fritz.
I know Brogdon's not the first person to go to lunch and not come back.
Oh man. Let's just get to it. So, Brogdon, he actually left a little note today. After he retired, he says, "Today I officially begin my transition out of my basketball career. I have proudly given my mind, body, and spirit to the game over the last few decades. With the many sacrifices it took to get here, I have received many rewards." Yeah, talk your stuff. "I'm deeply grateful to have arrived to this point on my own terms, and now to be able to reap the benefits of my career with my family and friends. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all who have had a place in my journey." So on his own terms being the key. And Shams even said this. He was like, Malcolm Brogdon was set to make the Knicks regular season roster, but had been contemplating retirement, informed the Knicks officials on Wednesday of his decision. Full statement from Brogdon on his sudden retirement, which I just read. Funny enough, I actually wanted to have a show today before this happened to talk about Brogdon, just because I wanted to actually pose a debate on whether he's a clear-cut winner to be the backup point guard based on his play so far. Like, I actually wanted to ask that question, because to me, if you've seen the post game, I had a lot of things to say about that game. When it came to Brogdon particularly, to me, he felt slow. He felt his defense was off, like he had problems finishing. And I actually wanted to see another preseason game with Brogdon to see what was up, because I was definitely a proponent of, like, you know what was shit, Dottie, shipped Kolek. But what I saw was like, okay, maybe it can get better, but is this the beginning of the end? That's what I was thinking. And I was actually contemplating having a show to talk about it, and then this happens. So so I'm ready to talk about it. I'm gonna start off with B, since you've been going off with the mouth on Twitter, and I like to go with vibes on who feels just the strongest about things. Yes. That's how it is. So B, I'm gonna let you talk and get your thoughts about Brogdon.
Well, for one, I have a question. Does that mean he doesn't play the last preseason game, correct? He's retired, he's done? Like, he's not even going to play the last game?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is it. It is now Tyler Kolek time.
We'll get into that. I want to just start by Malcolm Brogdon was somebody that I wanted years ago, maybe about 2-3 years ago. I started with please get Malcolm to New York. So it kind of sucks that we finally did land him to have this be the outcome. But as we've seen in the short time frame, we realized that time did run out and we were just a little bit too late to the Malcolm Brogdon show. I never doubted his talent. He should display that throughout his career. It's just like many, even us as regular people, but as you can imagine, athletically, injuries suck. And they're hard to bounce back from with a regular life. So I can't imagine an athletic life, especially with the piles of injuries that he had. So I was kind of skeptical when we did get him because I was kind of like, is he going to be able to even play what we need him to play for? I saw him as a backup point guard. I know we have Miles McBride, and I know we have Jordan Clarkson, but to me, they're not facilitators. They're scorers. And we needed someone to, when Jalen Brunson, which is something we begged and pleaded all last season, facilitate more, set people up more. And we don't blame Brunson because that's his job to put the cape on when things are going bad. But as a point guard, again, I always talk about this too. Positionless basketball is a thing these days, so I get it. But I'm old school, and I love me a point guard who facilitates first. So it was nice to know that we had someone on the roster who did that, who would come off the bench and keep guys scoring. Because we have that. We have scorers. Again, we'll figure out if they're going to be consistent, if they're going to, stay hot. But we have people who can come off the bench and score the ball. So it was nice to know that they were going to come in with somebody like that. And my other thing with it was, I enjoy a groomer. That's why people always talk about vets. We'll get to the youngsters, but youngsters are nice to have, but you need vets in a locker room. And I thought that he was perfect for Tyler Kolek and Brunson. So it kind of sucks. I wonder if we do keep him around to still coach, to still mentor. Because I think that he would have rubbed off in a right. He also was a player you never heard anything other than injuries or playing well. He's not a guy who got into a lot of controversy. Never heard him as a bad teammate. So it would have been nice to have him in the locker room. He seems like a good professional basketball player. So those sides of it really hurt for me because one major thing, I just feel like we got him too late, and this is the cost of it. Now we won't be having him available. We don't know if we will actually have that vet role facilitator coming off the bench. But the other side of it, I like to see things in another way. And the other side of me is starting to think, I think this is a blessing in disguise. I think there's something we don't know yet. We'll have another show on that. But I think that I commend him for realizing that this is not something that I could do the entire season. This could have been mid-season where he was playing well for us. Untradeable, where he's playing so terrible that we were stuck with him. So I want to also be one of the first to say congratulations, good luck, God bless, because he still had him an NBA season. He's still one of the most talked about bench players in this league. So I wish him the best of luck. It sucks that we didn't get to have the full year with him. Yeah. But I would love to see how this all plays out because I think it's just hold on to it. I think there's a blessing in this. There's something he's going to give us a present in the fact that he has to go so soon.
Yeah, man, I saw Russell Westbrook. Shout out to B. Welcome back. Hell of a welcome back party. Russell Westbrook, man. I wonder if Russell Westbrook is somewhere kicking himself right now. Because Russell Westbrook was rumored to be interested in the Knicks, and it's mutual. And I think Malcolm Brogdon was like, me first. And they was like, oh, screw you, Russell. We're going to Malcolm Brogdon because he's, like you said, 50, 40, 90 guy, defensive guy. He has that reputation as a pure facilitator. And Russell, while dynamic, is not a shooter, but, he can still go. But now that Brogdon is gone, I wonder if Russell waited one more day, if he would be in conversations with the Knicks right now. He might be like, damn it. What the heck? I'm just saying. Lee, what are your thoughts, Lee? I see you shaking your head a lot.
It sucks. I said on the show, I thought Brogdon would have brought the most of any new addition that includes Yabusele, but I dropped that signifier, if healthy, multiple times. I said it so much, I got sick of my own voice. And I mean, maybe it wasn't health, it was also mental. He seemed to really lose the love of the game, which is super unfortunate because that role that he would have filled to me was the most important role off the bench. And he provided something we haven't really had since Derrick Rose in the 2020-2021 season, where it's someone you can not just depend on to get you a bucket, but really orchestrate the offense and raise the floor of the 4 guys he's playing alongside. Now, we don't have that. Jordan Clarkson is not a true secondary playmaker. Neither is Deuce McBride, sadly, and neither is anyone else on the bench, including Tyler Kolek, who can't play defense, is a streaky shooter, and sometimes struggles finishing around the rim or shooting his mid-range jumper. So we need, to me, this needs to be addressed. We can't end and say, okay, Brogdon's gone. I know. The great thing about Leon Rose, he has plan B, C, D, E, F, and G. So there's already guys out there they've been in conversation with, that they've been scouting and considering. So those conversations probably started way before the announcement was even made of Brogdon once he informed internally. I'm looking forward to who we see. I have some names on my list. I'm sure that'll come up later, but we have to address this role. We cannot start the season without having that backup playmaker.
Shoot, we might. We'll see. Ryan G, what's your thoughts, man?
Well, it was disappointing that, Brogdon retired because of what he brought to the table throughout his NBA career, the type of player he is, and things of that nature. But, I think the writing was on the wall watching him in preseason because, me, for example, I was being hopeful. I was hoping that, it was just rust, and with, a few more reps, he would get back into, his game shape and be a better player as the season went on. But, if we're being real about it, in the preseason, he did look kind of slow. I did mention in the previous podcast that he definitely had trouble finishing at the rim. Unless it's a straight drive to the rim with his nobody in the paint, he had trouble. He had trouble finishing through contact. He had trouble finishing over people as well. So, and I think, with older players, especially hearing a lot of players talk about when they knew that it was time to hang it up, it's usually when they go against the young bucks and they're like, I can't hang with these dudes no more. Like, it's my time is up. And the Knicks faced the Wizards last night, and the Wizards' whole roster is young bucks. So he probably played that game and he was like, man, these young dudes are dogs, man. Like, I ain't got it no more, man. I ain't got it no more.
Dog, I was thinking that. I was thinking Mike Brown wants you to run. Like, pace. One thing we said about the last game was like the pace slowed down definitely when Brogdon was getting more of the minutes. And I was wondering, it's like, damn, we know he has that go-ahead pass, but you kind of still need more than the go-ahead pass in that offense. You need to be able to have some wheels. And I wonder if that pace made him think about, like, you know what? Nah. I don't need to be running all up and down 100 miles per hour. I don't care if I'm only playing 10 minutes. Like, I'm good. I'm cool on that. Like, that's the sense I was getting.
Facts. And the thing is that when you do look at the Knicks bench, I do think the Knicks still have a strong bench, but I do think that a facilitator is probably needed, at least a backup facilitator, because I think a lot of times last season when Brunson wasn't in the game, the Knicks struggled with having a player that could actually run an offense and actually, maintain his dribble and things of that nature. So I do think the Knicks need a facilitator of some sort. Clarkson, I wouldn't say Clarkson is bad at facilitating. It's just that that's not his first move. His first move is to, let me create a basket for myself and score. I do think in preseason he has shown the ability to, get other teammates involved. It's just that that's not his specialty. That's not his forte. And McBride, again, that's not his forte either. McBride can show it in spurts, but that's not his forte either. So I do think you need to bring in somebody who specializes in running an offense and facilitating. The Knicks do have a rookie in Kolek who can do it, but unfortunately, the defense is not up to par, and he doesn't show it on a consistent basis. The ability is there. It's just that you can't depend on him to actually fulfill that role. So that's why
Kolek time, Lee. Is it Kolek time, Lee? I see Lee's face.
But yeah, the Knicks do need to bring in somebody to fill in that role. And like Lee said, I'm pretty sure Leon Rose has a plan B, C, D, where he's probably looking at a couple players who are available to fill that role.
Nah, Lee, Kolek said, I'm back, bro. Kolek said, you thought I was gone? I'm back. I dropped 20 on your head. Malcolm Brogdon who? That's what I heard. That's what I heard he said after the game. Malcolm Brogdon who? That's what he said. I'm just telling you, word for word. That's what I heard.
Oh, boy.
Fritz, Oh man, I'm instigating. My bad. Go ahead, Fritz.
I don't know. I think Tyler Kolek is probably scared straight now. He gonna get his stuff together.
You think he was like he saw the writing on the wall? He's
You
like,
know
damn,
what?
it's me and him.
I need to straighten my
And it said
life
it's
out
gonna
right
be
now.
him.
Yeah, I'm really hoping Malcolm Brogdon was walking towards something rather than walking away from something. We see that he does have opportunities. Maybe I'm just waiting to see what the real is. He may have saved someone's job by walking away, and you never know if he may have done it for a teammate. Like, you never know. He doesn't need this money. He doesn't need any of this. He spent his last couple of years in DC, and he has an interest in politics, so that's something he always can get into. He alluded to the next chapter, so let's hope he's walking towards something rather than away from something.
It's funny you say that. I do see him in like politics. He's very politics.
Yeah. So, but I saw the game. And my thing was I really thought Mike Brown was talking about running, and it looked like the Knicks last year, and that in that setting with so many young players, he should have been able to just run over these kids, and he just didn't. It concerned me. It concerned me to the point that that night I was on a podcast, and my thing was, I don't think he could be the point guard. Like, I literally said, I don't think he'd be the point guard. I think he's going to play with Brunson a lot, but I don't think he'd be the point guard because I don't see him running. I don't see him being that guy that Mike Brown usually wants as point guard. But
I wasn't ready to say that, but I was definitely thinking I need to see more because that didn't look so good.
Yeah, my thoughts at the time was, wow, he is we're gonna have to work with him for now, but something's gonna have to happen later in the season. And that's how I felt 2 days ago.
But you was on the side of keeping the kids from the rip.
I wanted to keep the kids. I'm against getting rid of the kids for rentals. I'm okay if you give me another guy who's going to be here for a few years and add to the team for the next few years. I'm cool with it, but not for a rental.
Depends on what that rental is. That's what I'm saying. For me, it was depending on what the rental was.
Yeah.
Like if the rental, like if I'm looking at the rental and the rental is not running right, then that's a different story.
Yeah.
That's a different story. So another part of this news is now with Brogdon out, there is one spot and two shooters. So at this point, we don't necessarily need to move a youngin to sign a shooter. We can pick Shamet or we can pick Garrison Matthews. So at least for now, it's looking like the kids are safe. If you're in Kolek Hive and you feel like he got a shot to do something, he possibly could still be here. I almost feel like Brogdon leaving is better for Kolek long term. Because if you're looking at the way this roster is built, and you're like, okay, we do need a shooter. McBride, he can handle the ball a little bit, but he's not a pure point guard. Now you're starting to look at Kolek like maybe we roll him out again to see if we get something close to what we got before. So I feel like Brogdon leaving might have gave Kolek a heartbeat.
I think Fritz, I'm really glad he brought that point up. I was going to bring it up too. You never know what kind of relationships are forged during training camp and traveling to Abu Dhabi. It's possible that Brogdon really was like, I don't have it, and I'm going to do this now so that before it cuts on Saturday, so one of these young kids has an extended career or isn't dumped off because they really want to be here. If so, he's a stand-up guy by all accounts. Like, that's a really solid thing to do, and I think the timing suggests that's a very high possibility. But now, I don't think Kolek is it because his team is already compromised so severely at the point of attack and pick and roll coverage, and even on switches. Brogdon is 6'4", 6'5", however, whatever measurement you want to believe. He could guard up a little bit on 2s and 3s. Kolek can't even guard 1. So to have Kolek follow up Brunson, that's 48 minutes of compromised point of attack defense at the lead guard position. To me, that's untenable for deep playoff success. No champion in the last 25 years has ever had that level of compromised point guard play, and it's not a recipe for winning at the highest level. We must address it on the free agent market, buyout market, trade market. Maybe not right now, but very, very soon.
I think I still feel I'm not sure if we'll be able to do it right now. I've seen people saying that, campaign was picked up by the Pacers and Delon Wright was cut. This actually might be an opportunity for Delon Wright. I'm not sure. Fritz, what's the timeline of picking up Delon Wright? Do you know if we?
No, they can pick him up. The interesting thing is, like, if the Knicks pick up a guy right now, they're not expected to get a guaranteed contract. So if you picked up Delon Wright and a couple months go down the line and someone else becomes available, you could probably drop Delon Wright and get someone else. Like if he doesn't have a guaranteed contract. So the Knicks do have options. You're not stuck with a choice for this weekend is the choice for the whole year.
There is an option, Jay. I can drop it now or I can drop it later. It's definitely a controversial one. Some people are probably going to be super for it, super against it. I don't think anyone will land in the middle, but it's a hot take.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me get the Zoom ready. All right, Lee.
Here we go. It's time to bring back my main man, Alec Burks, for round 3. Listen.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
You need
6'5".
defense, you need offense. Go ahead, Lee.
6'5". Okay. He gives you that Malcolm Brogdon guarding up. He's already familiar with half the roster playing here in his 2 stints. Gave you almost 43% from 3 for a career. And my boy JL loves the second spectrum and those type of clean the glass stats. He's a monster in the corner 3. So the same way that Brogdon and Mike Brown's been pushing, run to the corners, that's a role that Alec Burks can absolutely nail. He is not a primary ball handler. He might not even be a secondary ball handler, but I think with the level of playmaking we have on the wings and with Cat in the post, he can be enough to run that second unit, maybe even in tandem with Brunson, because he did you 6'5" size, and even possibly as the starter at 2-guard spot. There's lots of possibilities in a pinch and injuries that he can produce. I like the option because he's available and he can come cheap. And this is his best chance right now to win a chip. It's the best time for him to ever come back to the roster because of all the positives he brings. But again, it's the same old tired song. We've heard it 2 times. Do you want to hear it for a third? I say hell yes, as Tyler Kolek is not it.
Third time's a charm, Lee.
Hold on. So we bring back Point Burks. We go back to Gibbs days.
Oh, Burks. We bring up Baby Jordan. Baby Jordan.
Over Tyler Kolek this time? Yes. Over Ice? No. Over Kolek? Yes.
Oh, man.
That was a reunion that that was actually one of my targets that I didn't mind. I didn't mind Alec Burks on our team. But before we get into that, I did want to highlight something real quickly because I know we keep speaking about the physical, but there was something that I wanted to discuss too, the mental part. And Fritz kind of brought something up that I'm like, oh, that could be into that too. Playing in Washington where there's no, what are they playing for is the question. So going into a situation where it's championship or bust for them. And I think that was drilled in his head, which is why we went after him. I think, of course, playing with the youngsters, realizing I can't keep up. But the second thing, mentally, I heard that there was something mental, too, that he was going through things mentally that I think that people disregard that affects anybody. You can't really do your job if mentally you're not there. So I think that coming from a place like Washington and then coming to New York where their expectations are very high, that could probably have played a part as well. I can't remember the last time Malcolm Brogdon played on a team for anything. Because even when he was on the Pacers, that wasn't the Pacers team that is today. That's causing all this havoc. And then when he was on Boston, that wasn't the Boston that won the championship recently. He was always a guy that, he was on playoff teams, but he wasn't on a true contender, a clear contender entering his NBA season. So I think that could also play into a big part. So I did want to say injuries on top of playing in places like Washington and coming to New York, I think that I just really wish him well. I hope that his mental gets right. Because if he is doing something like this, like I realize I can't do this, and I hears it, I commend him highly. Like that is such a thing. So mentally, I think that some people do disregard with these NBA players that I just wanted to highlight because I went through something traumatic over the last few months with an injury, then getting back to my regular life. It was difficult. It wasn't, even though physically I was back and I was able and I'm okay again, mentally it was a lot for me to go back to the place that I once was before. And I think that's what he realized, that, yeah, I could probably play basketball, but I can't play basketball the way I could anymore. And sometimes that could exhaust a player, especially when you have guys like he is fighting a spot with Tyler Kolek. That's a 24-year-old sophomore. He didn't, I don't think that, I think that mentally, I just wish him well mentally is the moral of that. And again, if you're watching and if you're going through anything mental, I wish you the best of luck too. And I want you guys to definitely handle that first. So I'm glad he put a thing out. Sometimes life is a little bit more than basketball for these players. They're not just athletes, they're human as well. So I hope that he gets right mentally. But back to the basketball talk.
Well said. Well said. I do want to ask you though. So that's a yes for Alec Burks?
Oh, I love me some Alex Burks. I think back to the Alex Burks, because I think our issue with Alec Burks is the role that he played in New York. He had no business playing those roles in New York ever. I don't know why he was in New York playing 30, 35 minutes, asking to be averaging 20 points per game. That was never what Alex Burks was for. He already kind of displayed that after his Utah days. He was just a guy who comes in and he just gives you some energy, and that's what we need right now. We're gonna put Miss Rachel on for my baby because that's what she likes. But yes, I always like Burks. I think with the right coach, if he's used correctly, he showed that in Miami, he'll facilitate correctly.
Is he a point? I hear Lee is saying it's going to be point guard by committee. That's what he's saying. Right?
Yes. When Burks was here the first time and playing point guard, Brunson was not here. So this is behind a real true point guard in Brunson, not behind Elfrid Payton or Kemba Walker or whatever combination of bums.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the idea of him being the backup point guard. I'm not gonna lie, but
no, I don't care for him to be the backup point guard either. But I think he's better than Jordan Clarkson or Miles McBride as the backup point guard.
Yes, agreed.
What I really want to hear from Ryan G, because Ryan G's been making so many faces.
Roast me.
Ryan, the floor is yours.
Alex Burks.
Here's my thing. If we agree that the Knicks need a backup facilitator, somebody can run an offense, get others involved, and things of that nature, and the Knicks already have enough scoring as it is. I mean, we got at least 5-6 guys that could probably drop 20 plus on any given night. I'm not sure where there's a need for Burks, because Burks is not going to be that secondary facilitator. Can he play the point? Yeah, he could play the point guard in spurts, for like short spurts, but that's not necessarily his specialty. He's a guy that, he can get you buckets. He can hit the corner three. He can create a little for himself, create a little for others, but I just don't see it as a need, for him to be a part of the roster. Like, I'd rather somebody who's an actual point guard, somebody who can actually, when Brunson sits down, you can put him in the game and not have to worry about the offense sputtering. That guy can, take control of the offense and actually, run it, keep his dribble, protect the ball, pass and get it to other guys on the court. So for me personally, I mean, Burke should be left in the Thibodeau days. Thibs ain't here no more. Mike Brown is here. Burks, leave him in the Thibodeau days. We don't need him no more.
Mm-mm.
I'm not gonna lie. I do have my trepidations about Alex Burks, and I wanted Alec Burks here every single time we got him back. I wanted him here. I laughed in Ryan G's face when he groaned. I think I laughed in Lee's face when he groaned. I was like, yes, bring him back. He can still shoot. I'm not sure if this is the right role for him. I think that's what it really is for me. Like, I'm not sure if it's the right role for him. Like, I almost feel like we need somebody who doesn't need to shoot. And like I almost feel like the line might be the better choice right now, even though I do like Alec Burks shooting and stuff like that. I still feel like this is the role we need, especially if you're talking about Brogdon was too slow in our fast-paced offense. So now we're going to bring 75-year-old Burks here to be point guard and still be slow too. Like, I don't know if that – I don't know.
He's not even that old. Stop it.
He is 97. Like, he's a little older.
He's NBA old. Yeah, he is NBA old.
I mean, I really wonder how point guardy does our point guard have to be? Like, does he have to be like an excellent facilitator, or just get us into our offense and be able to shoot when needed? So I'm gonna put a name on there. I know everybody's gonna kill me for, but Victor Oladipo.
Better than Burks.
I'm sorry.
Better than Burks.
Always can shoot. I think he does a lot of things that would contribute to his team.
Victor, I'm not gonna lie, man. Victor Oladipo was not
because he physically can't stay healthy.
I know, but you know what? If he's on a non-guaranteed contract, he can go home. Like, if he's not up to it, he can go home and he can be replaced. That's the beauty of a non-guaranteed contract.
I'm not going. Go ahead.
No, I'm very shocked to just see that Alec Burks for his career only averaged 1.9 assists. That's terrible. I didn't know.
I'm not shocked at all.
I
watched him here. I watched him as a Knick.
Okay. I'm sorry if I cut whoever off.
I think that's my thing with, like, you know what? When he was at Utah, he's like, oh yeah, he can facilitate, he can run pick and roll, he can play the 2 and the 1. That was the thing before he got to the Knicks. And then he got to the Knicks, and it was kind of black hole-ish. You know what I mean? So I didn't see that facilitator role from him. And again, like the pace. Victor Oladipo now, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'm feeling the dreadheads right now. But Victor looking like he's took a bath in the Fountain of Youth. I'm not gonna hold you. He looks like a monster. He's definitely not a point guard, but he's definitely an athlete. He can definitely pace and
but
run.
I think that goes into what someone else was just kind of indicating. He's gonna come in the game and score first. He's not worried about facilitating. He does play defense, but what we keep hassling is a facilitator.
It's the facilitation, and it's the facilitation, and 2 is the pace. Like I feel like Alec Burks won't have the pace to keep up with that second unit and have it running like the way Mike Brown wants it to. And then on top of that, the defense, it's there sometimes. It's there sometimes at 6'5" when he wants it to be. Victor does look like he got something to prove. I'm not gonna hold you. And he's not a prototypical point guard at all. I usually don't even go for the scorers like that. Really, that's not usually even my MO. But he's looking so damn dynamic, I might take a damn shot on him. I'm not gonna hold you. But I'm definitely looking at Delon Wright for sure. I'm not so sure about AB. Victor's been so dynamic. I might take a look and just go point guard by committee at that point. I'm not gonna hold you.
We do need to be tethered to reality and realize that Victor Oladipo is looking great in China. He's playing against Chinese players. He had one game that he played against the San Antonio Spurs in preseason, and yeah, he looked good. He was able to get off his shot with very little space, but he has been playing in China. He hasn't been playing in the NBA pace against NBA players with NBA physicality, and I don't know if his body can match up to the run and pace and space that Mike Brown is implementing. Maybe in a Thibodeau he could, but not in this lineup. He has the same causality and issues that Malcolm Brogdon does. Can he still play? Can his body hold up? Will the injuries return? Has he lost a step defensively? To me, it's the same issues. If Malcolm Brogdon's stepping away, you need someone who provides turnkey solutions in terms of, can he make good passes? Does he make the right pass, a bounce over a chest or a lob over a splash out 3? Those things are very important. I think Alec Burks has enough professionalism and playoff experience, as does Delon Wright, who I'm also super for. Might even prioritize Delon Wright over Alec Burks because he's played with us more recently and knows his team more in depth?
I think if you're concerned about long term about his injury history, I don't blame you. When you're talking about though, like I think the eye test, when you're talking about the losing a step and stuff, the eye test tells me like his step looks like he's good. Like physically, he looks good. We don't need him to play. I think Fritz saying that, hey, if he doesn't work out, we can still dump him later and get somebody else because it's still going to be a non-guaranteed contract is also like a selling point for me at this point. So to me, I get it, but I feel like this is it's like it's a low risk. I feel like it's like a low risk, high reward thing. I think that's why I'm considering it.
I mean, since we dropping bombs, then that's why we should have picked up Ben Simmons, but he don't want to come.
I think
that's who fills in all the checks right now that we talking about.
I'm sorry.
We need a person who pass and play some defense. That's Ben Simmons, baby.
Well, first and foremost, we did offer Ben Simmons a contract, but he thought he was better than the contract that the Knicks offered, so he ain't want to come because of that. So Ben Simmons at this point. And number two, I like the way Fritz thinks. I'm on board with Victor Oladipo because although he's not really the facilitator that we're discussing, I agree with Jay. Eye test, Victor Oladipo looked like he's there. Eye test wise, when it comes to like his physicality, athleticism, the way he's getting his shot off and things of that nature, he looked like he's healthy. And the thing is, this is why I'm on board with it, despite his injury history, because of the medical staff the Knicks have currently on board, because they have one of the top medical staffs in the NBA right now, and the way they kept OG fairly healthy all season, the way they kept Mitch healthy and guys like that have injury issues, I think they could possibly do the same thing for Oladipo. Maybe Oladipo comes to the Knicks and they figure out something that can keep him on board, have him be healthy for the most of the season. And then on top of that, he's not going to be playing heavy minutes because he's going to be coming off the bench. Like, it's not like we're just going to insert him into the starting lineup and he's going to play like 30 minutes a night. Maybe he's playing like 15, 20 minutes a night, depending on, I guess how Mike Brown staggers his minutes between the roster and things of that nature. So to me, I feel like it's low risk, high reward as well. And I would take a chance of Victor Oladipo if the Knicks can get him.
I roll that dice, yo. I roll that dice. I ain't gonna hold you. Somebody said, who's Jackson? What Jackson are we referring to?
Jackson Dart? No, I'm kidding.
Reggie Jackson.
Is it Reggie Jackson?
Oh, Reggie Jackson. Is
he available? I think
is he available?
He retired. No, is he still an NBA player?
No, he's been playing overseas.
I was gonna say, because actually right now I'm looking at the free agency and the point guards. There's two people that kind of stick out to me. Markelle Fultz. He was somebody that I didn't mind looking into, facilitator. And if people are injured, there are people who are Wolverines though. That's why I think we forget that side too. There are people who, they was injured. They might be injury prone throughout their career, but they can bounce back. There's a lot of medical science things these days that could have people play like probably even better than they once did. So that's somebody who I see throughout his career that even when he was pushed to the ground, he kept going. And I like players like that. I don't like players who like the Ben Simmons. That's why I like Ben Simmons just purely for talent. Just speaking basketball, he's a good basketball player. Everything else is what makes me against him. I don't like a lot of things. So I get people when they sigh about that. But Markelle, he kind of went through similar things like that Ben Simmons went through with the playing in a organization that's fans are very harsh. Shot was disgusting at one point. People were calling him a bust. I saw him revive his career a lot of times. There's some good games that I watched Markelle Fultz play over these years that you're like, oh, okay, he might still be somebody.
I'm not mad at Markelle Fultz I'm not mad at that thought, yo. Yeah. I'm not mad at that at all, actually.
Yep.
I'm not mad at Markelle. I'm not mad at the thought of Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson,
Okay, I'm gonna see what Reggie's at. Let's see what Reggie's
he seems like he grew up. He feels like a Brooklyn dude. I don't know.
So like we're not going with the podcasters better than Trae Young. We're not doing Pat Bev. We're not messing it with any of that.
Pat Bev. But he's
Pat, listen. Pat, they come from the same tree, man. They're from the same branch. Pat Bev, Red Jackson. You know, I'm with it.
Yeah, mercenaries.
Listen. I'm at this point. I'm throwing anything at the wall to see if it sticks. Because, like Lee said, we need a facilitator. We need a backup point guard somewhere. And I know McBride's been working on his handle. It hasn't really come all the way there yet. Kolek, he looks good on offense. Defensively, he's still going to be a liability. And it's not even just that. It's when you have Kolek and Clarkson together. I feel like that's just a recipe for like a conga line to the rim. That's a lot of pressure on your big man to keep people off the glass and away from the rim. So it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. But the Knicks are gonna have a time. They're gonna have these young players are gonna have a chance to prove themselves. I'm not gonna tell you. Bride and maybe even Kolek.
Preseason just became way more pressurized for Tyler Kolek. In order for them not to fill that roster spot with somebody else, he's going to have the type of game he had on Sunday or Monday, on Friday too, against the Charlotte Hornets, and then after that as well. Like, he has to really show that he can raise the floor of the players that he shares the floor without him, or Leon's going to be looking elsewhere. I got 3 names here that I thought were decent trade targets or buyout candidates for the Knicks. Thought about CJ McCollum. If he's bought out, that's a 6'3" guy with a ton of playoff experience, no defense, but can definitely facilitate for others. This way he can score. And then
definitely win it with CJ.
I do like his facilitation.
Yeah.
The one problem about CJ McCollum, if it's in the season, we couldn't sign him because we're over the first apron. Because he's more than mid-level.
Doesn't he have like a nasty contract right now?
Yeah. He's on $30 million. And that's Fritz, baby. Fritz knows the numbers. All right. I also got Gary Harris, who's currently with Milwaukee. They're in a roster crunch. They got like 5 bum-ass Giannis brothers on there that are taking up roster spaces. So they might get rid of Gary Harris. He's a CAA client. And then my favorite, and this is going to piss off a lot of Knicks fans, man, Spencer Dinwiddie's on a 1-year deal with Charlotte. I saw what he did in Dallas. He's excellent. He has experience balling out with James Brunson. He puts up numbers in the playoffs when you need it. 6'5". I mean, dude, he's only making $2 million a season. That's a great buyout or a trade candidate. Let's ship out Kolek for Spencer Dinwiddie. He can be the backup playmaker off the bench. He's a great passer.
I hate Spencer Dinwiddie with my soul, yo. With my soul, man. Go somewhere and be a Bitcoin pusher or something. I don't need you on the Knicks, man. I don't.
Why do you hate him?
Huh?
Why do you hate him?
Why do I hate him? Do I need to go through the timeline? Okay.
he has the energy for it. He has the energy for New York every time.
Yeah. He's got some slick comments about the Knicks.
Well, that means he plays good at MSG. Come through.
Yay. B sees it. She sees a vision.
First of all that smack he was talking when he was on Brooklyn, I did not forget it.
Oh, I forgot that.
Okay? I did not forget it. You will always be little brother to me, and little brother can stay over there. All right? I am cool on Spencer. I just And it's like he carried that energy when he went to Dallas too. He went to Dallas and was still talking smack about the Knicks. So I was like, man, I want to beat Spencer, man. I want to beat Spencer. I don't know. I come from the days of beating the trash talkers, not joining them. I don't know, man.
You can go ahead.
Okay. There is one player who may not make his roster that everybody brings up every year is Delano Banton. He may be available. Not typical point guard.
He's still a free agent.
I think he just got signed but it's I think it's like a roster thing, preseason.
With the Mavs.
I've seen little flashes of him. I think when did he play for the Raptors?
Yes.
Okay, that's when I seen him play. I thought he was held back And I think he's one of those players that if he's given the opportunity, he can go off. But he hasn't been given the opportunity at all. And he's only getting older, so his game is, that's the issue that we have with our guys now. We don't have minutes. We don't have opportunities for them to develop their games. And sometimes in those instances, they kind of dwindle your game. It's rare that somebody is on the shelf for 3-4 months. 3-4 years, you take them off the shelf and it works the way it did when you first put it on the shelf. Probably still works, but not as good. So that's the only thing I have with him. He keeps getting bounced around, and typically things like that, it makes me question why. Like, why do you not believe in this young guy who's about 6'6"? He's a big body.
I hear you. Yo, hold on. Before we go on, because I was getting into this conversation. Y'all bringing up some good names.
Patty Mills is not retired either, but go ahead.
Bring Patty to New York?
Who?
Patty to New York? Patty Mills?
Patty Mills?
He's not a facilitator, though. You can go ahead.
I'm cool. I'm cool on Patty. But there's a few names I heard. I just want to shout out the Super Chats real quick because the conversation was going and I didn't want to stop it. But shout out to the Super Chats and the supporters because we always want to appreciate those. Shout out to Mr. Knicks 101. He says, I still think the Knicks need a backup point guard. Indiana's defense during the Eastern Conference Finals gave the Knicks troubles full court. Yeah, I was really hoping Brogdon was going to help solve that. I really was. But yeah, that's the
issue that I have with Tyler Kolek. It's like, if you're going to put people who are typically, from what I saw in the NBA, if you're putting someone who's a defensive liability, you have to be a non-offensive liability. That's why, again, Brunson plays. He is going to give you the offense. Doesn't matter. That's why they play the JJ Redicks, the Jason Caponos. Shout out Jason Capono, by the way. They even play the Garrison Matthews. But he doesn't have that. That's another, and we don't have time to play minutes to play him for him to gain an NBA jumper. He's going to miss a lot more than he makes at this time too. So that's where, again, it's not that we don't want Tyler. It's not that we don't care for Tyler. I think the issue with Tyler and that there's no opportunity for them. And the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to be put on that shelf. And what happens when you're on the shelf, you collect dust. And when you take it off, it takes time to dust it off and polish it back up to resell it. You don't just take it off and give it to the person. You got to fix it up again so that it could be resold. So that's the issue that I have with these people. Lack of opportunity. And people like the Victors, the Malcolms, they could come in and there is an opportunity for them. There is a position for them to play right now. So that's the only issue that I have with Tyler Kolek. He has not shown me that he has an NBA three-point shot yet. He hasn't shown me he had any offensive game yet. He'll have splashes. He's an NBA player. You're gonna hit. He got drafted in the NBA. He was amazing in Markelle. But it's not consistent. It's nothing where you you know what? I don't care that he sucks in defense. He doesn't do anything where it's like, okay. And this is not and if you look at the assist leaders, this is not a league where there's 5 point guards that's on the assist that's just facilitating the ball so much. It's just what we know we need. But you got people like Jokic being at the top there. You got people like Giannis at the top there. LeBron's. It's not like he's coming on there getting 6-7 assists either. He's nothing flat pops in his game that shows that he's worth. Yeah, that he's worth being.
I feel like there's a chance that they can develop. But I think my thing is roster composition, man. That's really what it is for me. Even if it does develop, him playing next to Clarkson is just a problem. It's just a problem I feel like even it's going to be too much to overcome with those guys being such defensive liabilities playing at the same time. I think that's my biggest issue right now. If Kolek ends up popping and you're like, all right, he can facilitate and shoot, then it's like we're going to end up having to still flip. We can either flip Kolek or flip Clarkson at that point. And I feel like they would choose Kolek. I feel like they would. And shout out to Silk Sutton. He says, Jay Ellis, I heard on another podcast, someone called Brogdon Mamba Quitter a week ago.
What do you mean?
Nostradamus, shake my head. Mamba Quitter. He's just a quitter. Like the opposite of Kobe Bryant's Mamba mentality. But
Mamba Quitter, okay.
Mamba Quitter, yeah.
Interesting.
That's why Kobe's 101 though. That's why Kobe's 101.
That's why Kobe. That is a fact. That is a whole. Was there any other super chats that I missed? Those are the two. All right, cool. Appreciate you guys super chat. Speaking of flipping Tyler Kolek, Here's something else that's very interesting that I heard talked about today. Shout out to Ian Begley, who puts on a very good show, The Put Back. I believe him, Bondi, and I think Jay Edwards was on there today. And they were talking about the return. And rather the lack thereof, from what I've been hearing from them on the putback, is the Knicks would have to attach a second to move Tyler Kolek or Dadier. The league knows what they're trying to do. They're trying to put together a championship team. And I think because, since they know they're trying to put together a championship team, I think the Knicks might be losing leverage a little bit. And B, since these players haven't shown enough yet to be like, I need that player in my program right now, you're not going to get the flood of offers for second round picks. So another wrinkle in this whole conundrum is we might have to end up attaching a second round pick to move Kolek or Dadier, which makes this whole thing completely different, especially if you are on the side of, I want Giannis here in 2026, because the Knicks don't have a lot of picks already. They don't have a lot of assets. So now you're talking about we're attaching a second to get rid of somebody, and that's less assets to give up in a potential Giannis trade if that's what you're looking for. So now it's like, now when you think about it, it's looking like, to me, Shamit's going to stay. And I feel like this increases the chances of the young kids actually staying if the Knicks are thinking they want Giannis. Now, and of course, even if they don't have a damn chance at him at all, I don't think they're going to get rid of another pick and take themselves further out of the game. So I kind of feel like, if I had to guess, I could be wrong, we stay in pack for those reasons.
It's the price of trying to win a championship. I mean, that's what contenders have to do. The Knicks have already had a bullseye on them under the James Dolan. We're a team that people don't want to help out already when we had inept leadership. Now that we have a great leader and we're doing really good and we've pulled ourselves out of a gutter, why would any team want to help us besides ones that maybe have, double agents within their administration, like Scott Perry in Sacramento? But to me, it made sense. Like, no one should do us a favor. We're not necessarily a team that does other people's. We do players favors and coaches favors, but not other organizations, especially at the Jalen Brunson situation. Casey Smith, we're always nabbing the top guys from other teams. So I understand it. Like, I'm seeing people in the chat really defending Batum Dadier and Tyler Kolek. Agree, man. Like, they're both kids with decent ceilings and fairly high floors because of their skill sets, but we're trying to win a chip. Championship teams tend not to use first or second year players, especially when that second year player barely played in year one and hasn't prepared themselves or gotten reps in the NBA game time, especially playoff time, which is a whole nother level. So to me, we have to bite the bullet. If it takes a second to move off them and free up that cap space, do it, because the veterans you're bringing in, they have a proven track record of being able to hit shots in the playoffs.
I think at this point it's not even necessary. I think that's really what it is. Unless you're saying I want to bring on Shamet and Matthews, which honestly I don't feel. I feel like it's redundancy there. Like, I don't feel like we should move one of them to bring Shamet and Matthews. I just feel like we should pick one or the other. That's how I feel about it.
And I think we want to play defense.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Yes, no team should help the Knicks get closer to win the championship, but you know what? We are owed something, because if I remember correctly, back when that damned Phil Jackson was the GM of the Knicks, he pretty much gave LeBron a championship when he traded J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So yes, the Knicks are owed something. Somebody help us out, please.
I'm gonna leave here with something.
Vibes now.
Yo, we are owed some damn karma. You right, man. We are right. We gift wrapped the Cavs. J.R. Smith. and Iman's jumper. And what we got back? We got about second round picks for
What
that?
did we get in return for that again?
A T-shirt, pretty much.
Yeah, it was just a few seconds, I think.
It was a couple of second round picks. There's a couple of second round picks, man. We need some luck, man. We're due for a fleece trade, damn it.
Facts.
We are due for a fleece trade. But you're right about that.
Y'all know me. I miss F them picks. F them picks. Picks is just potential. Picks is something that could possibly happen, and we're not in a position where anything could possibly happen. We can actually win a championship. So if the picks gotta go, the picks gotta go.
If the picks gotta go, the picks gotta go. If it makes sense to me, I don't see where it makes
But not
sense
in
in
this-
this
you're
scenario.
right.
Like, do we need to? Fritz, correct me if I'm wrong. We don't need to move any picks to get Alec Burks on the team, right?
Not if you don't want to get Shamit.
So it'll be Alec Burks or Shamit. That's what you're saying. So if you want Alec Burks
Yeah.
and Shamit,
Shamit, yeah.
then you move somebody.
It's the two veteran spots. You need to move someone.
I'm not sure. If
We
I'm
got
doing that,
Lance
man.
Thomas, guys. Sorry, I forgot about that.
What about if we want to get Oladipo or we want to get Delon Wright? Do we? Okay, let's go Oladipo first. If you want to get Oladipo here, then what's the situation? Do we still need a vet? We still
Same.
need to move one to bring Oladipo.
Still need to move one. As long as you're getting two veterans signing, you need to move one of the kids.
Okay, so the only situation that doesn't apply is Delon Wright.
One veteran.
Oh, one veteran.
Just
So-
one veteran.
So if we want Shamit and Delon Wright, we still got to move a kid.
Yep.
Got you. This makes it tough, man, because there's not a lot of time to assess what any of these players look like in this type of system. So, like, if I'm the Knicks and I have to choose somebody at this point, it might be Delon Wright by default. Only because we already know what he looks like with these people in this system. Like, I feel like if the Knicks were to do that.
I do wonder in the next few days if someone on another team is like, "Hey, cut me, cut me, cut me. I'm going to the Knicks."
Who?
I don't know. You know what? Okay, Timberwolves just signed Bones Highland. Bones Highland always can play. His issues aren't on the court. It's off court attitude. But I could see someone saying, "Hey, could you cut me? Because there's a little spot on the Knicks I like." I don't know who would do it,
Russell Westbrook.
but I wish he would. We need to show up at his house like DeAndre.
Oh my God. Oh man. All right, so that's what it's looking like. We got AB, we got Delon Wright, we have Markelle Fultz, we have Victor
There was one more
Oladipo's
name
name
I
drops.
forgot to mention. I don't know how to pronounce it. That's why I don't say it yet. He used to play for the Bucks. It's like Mimic. He's like but Vasildi. You know, guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. The foreign point guard.
Yeah, he's a pure facilitator. He's still a free agent.
Mysick
Yeah.
or something.
Isaac.
Uh-huh.
How's his defense?
He's a facilitator.
He's European.
Oh, he's European and a facilitator. Got it. That was racist.
European is the type of defense.
And his 3-point is terrible. So it sucks. But he's another one that I saw there that I did see him when he played. I think he played for Charlotte too, the Hornets. He played good on the Hornets. I liked his game. I liked for what we need. But if we have to cut and trade anything for him, no, absolutely.
All right. We'll see what's gonna happen, man. My eyes gonna be glued. We have to make a decision by Saturday. So who knows what's gonna happen by Saturday? Might have another pod. Who knows?
Hey, man. Listen, man, we gotta stop overrating these kids, man. I'm getting sick and tired. It's like, why does a second round pick have a fan club, man? These
Only in the next.
second round. Like, let's be realistic about there's so much talent in the NBA. We have seen the last couple of days Drew Tim, Day'Ron Sharp get waived. Every team is cutting kids in order to push the cream to the top. Find the best players. Tyler Kolek and Batum Dadier are not players you should be getting your panties in a bunch for. They're young kids that if Tibbs didn't trust them, and Mike Brown's not going to trust them, and Leon Rose don't trust them, if they're out the door, there's a damn good reason, because unlike us, they're in the gym watching them play every single day against our top starters. So if they're traded, if they're cut, if they're dropped, it's because they know more than we do as fans. Bruh, admit this was a top 5 pick. I get the blind lemming support. We're talking about second round Tyler Kolek and late first Batum Dadier. Every player we drafted in that capacity is off our roster with the exception of Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson. Let's stop overinflating these bums, bro, for real.
I'm with you, but for who? Are we trading one bum for another bum? I think that's really what it is for me. It's like, cool. I mean, I'm using Lee language. You got me caught up. Lee. I didn't even mean to call them bums. That's your shit. I didn't mean to call them bums. My bad. I got caught up in the moment. The kids ain't bums. They just young. But
not a bums.
Y'all ain't I see what time y'all on.
I'm a fan first. So anybody who's on my team, we want to see them do well because they're on my team. However, when you just look at basketball, Pac has no shot. He cannot shoot the ball. Like he cannot shoot the ball. And there's so many things that we can say is wrong about Tyler Kolek's game that we talk good about. The only thing we talk about the fact that he's a playmaker. Anything else we talk terrible about. We don't say anything positive. We don't be like, oh, he's good on defense. He can shoot. He can do this. We always talk about he can pass the ball though. Okay, so can 4 of the guys that we just mentioned here.
But one thing I could say about Kolek in the summer league, it took him 2-3 games to warm up. And he did good the last couple games. This time it took 2 games for him to warm up.
The 7 games around. I need him ready.
But could it be regular playing time? That's his issue.
Yo, the only reason why I feel like this is even a discussion is because nobody we mentioned is that guy. One guy's in China. One guy is still a free agent after everybody is signed. One guy just got cut for Cam. Like, we're not talking about world beaters here. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's a discussion. This is not a no-brainer. This is not something.
That's
like
why I like
Brogdon,
Lee's trade packages.
Huh?
That's why I like Lee's trade packages. I like the names that he mentioned.
Ben Simmons, you have time.
Ben Simmons is done.
You have time.
I'm sorry.
Make that call.
Checked out.
Make that call.
And man, he mentally checked out in 2020, bro. Like, he's not here.
Ben Simmons only played basketball, yo.
We're sorry. The down here is called. Like, he's not here, bro. Like, he's not been here in years.
What about Corey Joseph? Are you guys a fan of him?
He's not running.
You and Brogdon. He's like, man, after this pace game.
No, he's old now. Corey Joseph is old.
Go ahead, pass. That's all I got for you, coach. Go ahead, pass.
Yeah, there's not much out here that's why I understand. Like, you rather develop than sacrifice for what's available at this time. But I'm with keeping them to possibly trade them mid-season. I am with that. But I think they have to get traded at some point. You don't win a championship with those guys. They're not why we win a championship. They're not why we don't win a championship. So if that's not the case with you this year, you can get off my roster. That's how I feel.
I think that's the other part too. The part we have to attach a second. It's not we're trading them and we're getting a second back. So wait, we gotta attach a second and we're getting back somebody else who we still gotta figure it out if they can do it or not. It's like it's a tough situation, man. Like this is one of those times where I wish that the Knicks. That's not the Knicks. The NBA still had multiple preseason games. So when they had 8 preseason games, it's like, all right, we can make this. We can push this back a little bit. Try out some other people, see if they can figure it out before we make a decision. But it's like this decision having to be done on Saturday makes things a lot more difficult. Let me tell you.
And we play again when? Tomorrow?
Yeah, no, Friday.
Friday.
So you gotta wake up the next day and be like, you're fired.
Exactly.
I will say this though.
Friday's
game, I will be watching Kolek very closely though, because I think Because I think when a player knows that there's a heartbeat, like they got like new life, the way they play that game tells me a lot about their character. And if Kolek shows up, that's going to tell me a lot about his character, because that's going to tell me that he wants it. Like he sees an opening and he's like, you know what, I'm going to take that opening. Now if he doesn't show up, then that tells me all I need to know about him. So I'm going to be watching Friday's game very closely at his performance and see how he performs against the Hornets.
Yeah. That's how I knew Cam was washed, because I was like, when Cam went to Portland and he didn't show up against the Knicks, I was like, oh yeah.
Cam who?
Reddish.
He came to Portland. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we traded him to Portland for Josh Hart, and then all the smack about how he didn't like Tibbs and Tibbs didn't play him. Like, if I'm a player, I had that game circled against the Knicks like months beforehand. And he came, he played the Knicks, and he laid a giant egg. I was like, oh, he got no heart for real.
Tyler Kolek proved that he is. I after we draft players, I usually watch how they were in college. In college, he showed that he's a guy that will show up when the time is needed. So I am actually excited for that too, Ryan, to see if he can take that college game and transform it into.
He's done it in summer league last season, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I do feel like some of that is still there. So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
If he played defense, the conversation would be mute. There would be no argument from any of us. And I'm not talking about.
We'll get an apology from me.
I'm talking about mediocre, average NBA defense. If he was able to do that with his shot selection, his floor vision, the playmaking, the position would be filled by Tyler Kolek. The reason he hasn't, the reason Tibbs didn't play him, the reason that Leon Rose hasn't pushed or made room for him in the roster to ascend is because his defense is not up to par for a championship team. And it's accentuated because he's backing up a player who barely plays average defense most of a game. Now, he's great with Jalen Brunson I'm talking about. He's great at drawing charges, but individual, he gets cooked and he gets hunted. So to have 8 minutes of compromised defense at point guard, these people do not understand ball on a simple level, not a high IQ level. Simple. You can't have compromised playoff basketball. And the most important point of attack position with two guys that can't defend a cone, it doesn't make sense. There's no example in NBA history where both the starter and the backup couldn't play defense at the point. And with all the ball screen usage and all the pick and roll usage, it's never been more than now. You can't be that compromised at the point of attack. This is what we're talking about when Deuce is undersized and Clarkson's undersized at the two. That's a Kolek. It doesn't make any sense. It's not an attack on his character. It's not an attack on his skill set. It's he doesn't fit the exact dimensions of what we need from a backup point guard defensively. It's as simple as that.
I agree.
Yeah.
At this point, he might get his trade value up to be moved, if anything. Or really, without Josh Hart here, it might be an opportunity for Cone Dadier to keep getting swings at it. That might be the other thing that happens too.
Yeah, and to kind of hop on what Lee said as well. The reason why Brunson's able to get away with playing lackluster defense is because what he does on offense is so overwhelming, where it's like, you know, even though his defense is not that great, like he's a superstar player on offense. Like, you know, we're gonna keep a guy like that. The thing with Kolek is that, although Kolek can facilitate, his defense is poor, and there's nothing about him that pops out where it's like, we must keep that player, and that's the issue.
Oh, my light came back on. Nice. All right. All right, yo. Yeah, I'm with you. Is anything else you guys want to mention? I feel like I've said everything I want to say. Lee's blown 2 gaskets. Ryan G hates an AB. Chris told us know about 1,000 ideas we had already.
I do. One thing in the chat, I will say, I do think the Knicks will do, and I think the Knicks are gonna probably swap around some of the 2As. So I think in this situation, you might see Dink Pate get one of the 2As. I think he might get a 2A.
Interesting. Okay.
But I don't know. I kind of like the center they have at the 2A spot.
I do like the scenario. I'm glad you said that because if you said they was going to trade McBride, I was going to go there and fight you. I was going to. But I can see them swapping two ways because they've done that numerous times for multiple seasons. So I can definitely see that happening.
Dayton Paint is right around the corner.
All right. Lee got the inside scoop.
Yes, sir.
All right, yo. I feel like we talked about everything we need to talk about. I think we had a really good, entertaining show. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Gamer Channel, Silton, East Brew, Darkosaurus, Nick Yak, Jet for Life. Fritz is still doing his thing in the chat, being the best mod in the game. Mr. Knicks. Everybody rock with the show. If you like the show, hit that like and subscribe. We here after every game talking Knicks basketball. I know there's a lot of shows going on at the same time, but come and rock with the Knick of Time show. You're going to get the spirited debates. You're going to get the insight. You're going to get it all. You're going to get the stats and the facts, and you're going to get jokes on the side sometimes. So come here for the complete package, rocking with us at the Knick of Time show. Shout out to you people who's watching on Twitter as well. If you are on Twitter and you love what we're doing, come to YouTube. I love how you support us on Twitter. I really do. But the support will be even seen more if you join us on YouTube and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when we are going live to talk Knicks basketball. All right. All right, yo. That's the show goal. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna just let your outro real quick. Lee, let them know they can find you.
All right. New article on the Substat. Check it out. I broke down what 5-out means. We've been hearing it a lot around Twitter, on YouTube, and interviews. But what does it really mean schematically, and what does it look like on the floor, and what kind of secondary plays are part of a 5-out offense, like ghost hammers and things of that nature? I try my best to define them in very simple language and also write about how Mike Brown can implement it with the current roster we have. Malcolm Brogdon excluded. I have to go in and edit him out of the beats now that he's retired. Check it out on the Substat. Fritz would drop a link in the chat if he hasn't already. Appreciate you, Fritz, for also sharing it on Twitter. Jay as well. Also, instead of following me on Twitter, go check out A Knits World, a great fellow channel, cousin of the show, a show that B is also one of the co-hosts on. You can follow them on @A Knits World, AKNICKS WORLD. Great people over there. My main man, the Knit Stand.
All right. Thank you, Lee. Let's mod in the game. Where can you find you, sir?
On Twitter, Fritz Handles on Twitter, NBA Economy Show on YouTube. And I am so excited. A week from now, we're watching real basketball. No more theoreticals. Hopefully, we see some plays. So, looking forward to it.
Yeah, we ain't gonna see no plays for like a week and a half. I'm telling you, it's gonna be freestyle Fridays, like Emily said. It's freelancing. All right. Yo, B, let them know they can find you, B.
I talk all my crap on Twitter. Sporty Spice. I with 2 C's. And then in my bio, you can find my TikTok. I'm starting up a TikTok where I talk some more basketball. And yes, A Knicks World KOT is where you can also find me. I appreciate you guys for always giving me the platform.
Absolutely. Shout out to B. All right, my guy Ryan G. Ryan, let me know they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT. You can also find me on Instagram at Sir G is chillin'.
Sir G is chillin'.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN. And before we go, I got a couple things to say. I do have a bruh pick, and I do have a couple comments before I go.
Oh shoot,
bruh. So my bruh pick goes to Amen Thompson and Jose Alvarado for that fight in the Pelicans and Rockets game the other day when they were going at it. My man Jose was going at my guy Amen Thompson's hip area. I was like, whoa, calm down there, my guy. I mean, pause. Hey yo, and then Amen Thompson do that punch at him too. So the fight looked kind of sus, but yeah,
when you say hip area,
yeah,
the fight looked sus. That is
okay.
And I'm reading the comments in the chat, and I just got a couple things to say. First and foremost, y'all using Lee's terminology against us, calling us bums. I mean, y'all gotta chill in the chat. Like, y'all really be out of pocket. Like, y'all really need to calm your asses down, all right? Just because you don't agree with us doesn't mean you have to call us bums. All right, we're here to provide y'all with entertainment. Y'all need to calm that down. All right, that's number one.
Ryan will remember it at the meetups. He will remember at the meetups.
Exactly. I will remember. And number two. Okay, I see people in the chat saying Tyler Kolek has played great defense in preseason, that his defensive rating has been so great. All right, let me teach y'all something about defensive rating and why sometimes it's not an accurate measurement of how a player performs defensively. Because defensive rating that's a team concept. So take this for example. A player plays bad defense. If he's on the court with other players that can defend, and they limit the team to few points per 100 possessions, that player's defensive rating is going to look good because of the players that's around him on the court playing defense. Now you have to take this into consideration. Kolek played a lot of minutes in that Wizards game towards the end of the game when the Knicks were actually coming back into the game and the Knicks had a good defensive lineup out there. Yeah, his defensive rating is going to look good because of that, because the Knicks were actually holding the Wizards late in the fourth quarter. But that doesn't change the fact that he was getting beat on defense a lot of times within that time period. It's just the fact that the Knicks had a good defensive unit around them. Yeah, his defensive rating is going to be inflated a bit. So don't take too much into the stats of the game. Sometimes sometimes it's eye test and you have to actually watch the game and see how a player defends. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
Okay.
When I saw where the question was coming from, I didn't feel like it needed to be addressed. But thanks, Ryan. I appreciate you name checking the bums in the chat that are trying to use a very empty stat to defend their takes. It's typical from the stat nerds.
I mean, other thing about stats is you need more than one game to like justify a
preseason game. Yeah.
You need,
by the way, it's nice to know that we have a smart coach that he put him out there with good defensive guys. So
yeah. We'll see if we can keep that up. All right. That's the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching. You can find us.
Oh my God, your cat is beautiful.
Yes, he is. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Knick of Time Show on Facebook as well. Also SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. All right. Cool. Also, we got Dexter coming Sunday. So y'all want to be here or be square. We're going to be talking about the Knicks and the upcoming season with my guy, Dexter, on the show for the first time this season. So be here and be square. All right. That is the show. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
shout out to Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It is a mess out here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. We out of here.
And by the way, real quick in the comments, can y'all? There was a question I had before this. Can y'all comment and let us know? Was there anyone who ever retired after? right before the season started, or is this like Knicks stuff? This is like Knicks. This only happens with the Knicks. Can you let me know in the comments below? I'm gonna check it out after. Was there anyone who ever retired right after preseason that was like, "Yeah, I'm not going into the season doing this. This is not happening." Let me know down there.
Yeah, so subscribe to the channel and put that in the comments. All right, in the comments. In the comment section of the channel.
Multi-bogues.
That was definitely some Knick stuff. All right. That's the show, damn it. Thank you guys for watching. We out of here.
Appreciate you guys. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.